What is going on, YouTube? I am back, and it is your boy Omar here with a new video today, and this is literally just hot off the presses news. The new AP Top 25 poll has been released for basketball for Week 7. This, of course, is December 18th today, so we're starting to figure out more about teams. We are not yet into conference play, so, of course, conference play is always a big test. And we're going to find out more about teams when they have to face off against some of their toughest opponents all season. But without further ado, let's just get right into what the poll is this week. We're going to go from bottom to top just for excitement, for suspense. And we start at the bottom with Creighton checking in at number 25. They are an 8-2 team and were unranked last week. They're a Big East team, so they're going to have some tough contests coming up in conference play. At number 24, we have Florida State. They were 19th last week, but finally took their first loss this week. And I kind of saw that one coming from watching them play a little bit. They just seemed like they weren't necessarily a team that was elite. And maybe they just got a good start, a hot start, and we're going strong. But they lost to Oklahoma State to drop them to 24th. Seton Hall also drops from 15 to 23. They're a Big East team that is now 9-2. Rutgers upset Seton Hall this past week, and that was the big change there. As even after their upset of Louisville, Seton Hall takes a big loss to Rutgers. Of course, that's a big win for that Rutgers program, and Seton Hall drops to 23rd. Tennessee checks in at number 21. They were 20th last week with a record of 7-2 as the SEC gets better and better. Better watch out for SEC basketball. It's starting to blossom. Number 21, Texas Tech, was 24 last week, so they've moved up 3 spots. They are 9-1 on the season. Cincinnati from the American Conference moves up from 25 to 20 with a record of 9-2. Arizona also moves up 5 spots. They go from 23 to 18 with a record of 8-3. We saw them lose those back-to-back-to-back games in the Bahamas early in the season, but it's starting to look like that was just, I don't know what to call it, just a weekend from hell, really, for them. And it looked like that's not them. And, we kind of figured this was a team that was ranked in the top 3 to start the season. So much talent, perhaps the best player in the country in DeAndre Ayton on the team. So you kind of knew they were going to come around, and they just had to gel. Just had a bad weekend abroad, and now they're back in the thick of things. Baylor at 9-2 continues to be ranked. They were 21st last week. They are now 18th. And Oklahoma jumps from unranked to 17th with a record of 8-1. This team really deserves it. They upset Wichita State during this week, and that was a very big win for them, of course. If you have not watched Oklahoma play, and they've just beat USC and now beat Wichita State, so they're probably on your radar a little bit. Trae Young is awesome. I mean, this is an electric point guard. I've heard a lot of Steph Curry comparisons, and when you compare a guy to Steph Curry, you're always going to get blowback. Of course, people are going to say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and rightfully so. It's hard to compare someone to Steph Curry, but I think what people are trying to say is this guy plays like Steph Curry played in college, and it's true. When you watch him play, he's just so electric. Purdue checks in at number 16, moving up 1 spot from 17th last week. They're 11-2. Undefeated TCU is 10-0, but they're not getting the love yet. They've dropped 1 spot to 15th. Number 14, Kansas moves 1 spot back from 13. They are 8-2 on the season. Of course, one of those losses coming to my Washington Huskies. Number 13 is Virginia. They moved up from 16. A beautiful, beautiful 9-1 start for them. Number 12 is still Gonzaga for the 3rd straight week as they are 9-2. Wichita State, after their loss to a pretty solid Oklahoma team, so I don't think that loss is going to look too bad down the stretch. But right now they're 8-2 and they are number 11 in the country. Of course, that other loss in the game against Notre Dame. Number 10 is West Virginia. They move up 1 spot from number 11. They're 9-1 on the season, playing that good defense. We've seen this team, led by Bob Huggins before, do big things. Xavier has been one of the real, not surprises, but just a very impressive team so far. What they did to Cincinnati, what they've been doing to everybody they play. A 10-1 squad so far. They're number 9 in the country. Number 8, Texas A&M, lost their first game a couple weeks ago, but they have not lost another one. They move up from number 9 to number 8 with a record of 9-1. And like I said, watch out for SEC basketball. It's not just Kentucky anymore. Speaking of Kentucky, Kentucky checks in at number 7 this week. Moving up one spot from number 8. They are 9-1. Of course, this is the time of year where John Calipari is just trying to figure out his team. He has one of the younger teams every single year, so I'm sure he will get this team rolling. But right now, they're already doing a great job. Number 6, the Miami Hurricanes still hold down that spot. They are 9-0 in the ACC and having a solid year so far. All you can do is win the games that you're scheduled. So that's what Miami's done so far. North Carolina is now 10-1, and they are moving up from number 7 to number 5 in the country. One of the better teams in the country. I truly believe they have a solid chance to go after that title defense. I think that they'll be a 1 seed at the end of the day, and so far they're proving that they are, gonna be there, gonna be in the thick of things. At number 4, we have Duke. Duke remains at number 4 with the record of 11-1. Of course, that loss to Boston College a couple Saturdays ago really cost them. They were cemented in that number 1 spot. They've also played a lot of games where they just barely got out of there by the skin of their teeth. Expect Duke to be better down the stretch. And at number 3, with 5 first-place votes and moving from number 5 to number 3, is the mystical Arizona State team that is 10-0. And just no one really thought this team was going to do much. Take it from me. I'm a Pac-12 fan. There was no hype, really, surrounding this Arizona State squad before the season in the Pac-12 media day or anything like that. This wasn't some team that people were expecting to be number 3 in the country with 5 first-place votes. And you could justify putting this team number 1. It makes sense. At number 2, remaining at number 2 with 15 first-place votes are the Michigan State Spartans. They are 10-1 on the season. With their only loss coming to Duke, I believe. So, that's a pretty good loss for a resume, and they are rightfully the number 2 team in the country. And we polish it off with number 1 Villanova with 45 first-place votes, 11-0 in the Big East. They have been the best team in college basketball, that's for sure. And this team, what Jay Wright does with this team every single year is just mystical. I just think it's so impressive what he's able to do. So that is your AP Top 25 for this week. Once again, your top 5. Number 1, Villanova. Number 2, Michigan State. Number 3, Arizona State. Number 4, Duke. And number 5, North Carolina. Check back next week. I'll make another video. A lot of bowl games going on. NFL playoffs coming up. MLB hot stove. NBA season in full swing. It is an awesome time to be a sports fan. Catch you guys later.